You could just stay there, Mr. Willowsby. Come on, let's go. Let's go. There it is. Right there. Save. Okay, now wait. Wait. Stay.
What is it that you want of me? Yes, of course.
Wait.
You know, for a divine being, sometimes you don't act so smart.
Oh, hush. Wait. Okay. Yep. There you go. There we go. What are you talking about? I met him on the street. He asked me to do a favor. That's it. What is this all about? Can't talk here. Follow me. Okay. Let's go. Nope, I didn't mean to trade with you.
What is it that I'm ready?
Alright. Now we have the full party again. And we're past... What's going on here? Who are you? Part of something that is... Well, I don't really know exactly all that I am part of. Let's safer this way. In case I am caught. But I do know a few things, which I can tell you if you prove to me that you can be trusted. It looks like I am going to need your help, now that my presence has been compromised. How do I do that? It sounds strange to you, but I'm here in Tarant to recover the skulls of the Renar Siamese twins. The skulls are evidence, well, even if you bring them to me. Where would I find them? Huh. A warehouse somewhere waiting to be shipped out. Alright. So the skulls are in a warehouse somewhere. It's not that warehouse. We've already been in there. There's the pickpocket. Flop house with another pickpocket. There's the part of the thieves' underground, I believe. Oh, I do believe it's this one. There they are. If you're wondering what this was, there was a half-ogre guard in here and a were-rat. They had a little money on him. And that's how much damage were-rats do. 26 through 36. Not something you want to run into early on. Even though you could get in here pretty early. But that's the reason they're behind locked doors, so they can't go charging onto the streets and killing everybody. Including you. This is all pretty simplistic now given my level, but something I always want to do. I actually don't know what Half Ogre Island is like. Here's the skulls. Tell me what was going on here. Now? I can tell you that I know. I tell you what I know, and a man named Arthur Tarant can fill you in on the rest. Years ago, bizarre breeding experience were began in secret, which would eventually affect the balance of power here in Tarant. The Renard twins were the first viable offspring produced by these experiments. Their skulls are simply the first piece in a long chain of evidence we are gathering to expose them all. What is the purpose of this? I told you all I dare. Tarant can fill you on the rest. I need you to bring him the skulls, if you would. Dangerous to search him out. Or, okay. Good. He was in Blackroot last I know. Find him there. Okay. And he's like, whoa, teleportation. No need to lie to me, friend. He gives you a grave nod. The hand will bother you no more. Well, that's good. Not interested in gambling with you. No. Poisons? Clarissa Shalmo. Oh wait, that's the Master of Throw, I remember. Arthur Tyron. Oh, that's what that, remember that piece of paper we found eons ago that said the crow is in danger? That's what this was referencing. But I do know for a fact that, I mean, if we told Matt de Cesar that if we still had that piece of paper and told him, then he wouldn't really tell us anything. He's like, oh. And you're just pretty much left to figure it out on your own. And they don't give you much to go on either. You still haven't restocked. What are the hazards of teleportation, I guess? Virtually no time has passed. So, I know that he's in Caladon. "22 Dragons Turnabout." Yeah, I'm looking at a frickin' guide. There it is, right here. You're working for them, are you? Working for who? No, the day has finally come. Is that it? The Tyrant has become too dangerous to be allowed to stay alive. You're Tyrant? Cesar sent me. Skulls, yes. For to plot with ramifications that could bring down the government of Tarant, but I need your help to finish my work. Is that so? Where all these half-ogres are coming from. 100 years ago, a half-ogre was a rare thing, usually the result of raping and pillaging. Human women aren't equipped to birth a baby the size of a half-ogre. It's rather strange. Never thought of it before. Breeding them. They've enslaved and are forcing them to mate with ogres, I tell you. Who is? The gnomes! The Industrial Council. What'd you find out? Close and grab the proof and I need to expose them. It's just that... oh, I'm not much in the way of physical prowess. Well, neither am I. I'm magical. What's this have to do with the skulls? Tried to breed elves with orcs. What happened? The twins are only viable offspring that come from those experiments. Scheduled to be put to death, but they disappeared from the lab before their termination could take place. High society, some 20 years later, we believe they must have been under the protection of a powerful ally of ours on the council for them to have survived that long. What do I need to do? Half Ogre Island near Thanatos. will do it. Okay, now, where did I park my boat? I don't think we can ever get to Catan. Can I teleport here? Nope. But boat landing on Thanatos. There's our boat. I left it on Thanatos. Can I steer for Half Ogre Island? Thanatos, Ashbury, Tarant, Caladon, Blackroot. Let's go to Ashbury. Wonder if that boat can take us. Surprised I can't steer my boat there. Passage at Half Ogre Island. Passage for 6. And now some place I've never been. Can't imagine it'll be very hard though. But just in case. I could go walking around, but something tells me this path is going to lead me to where I need to go. This doesn't look pleasant. Ow. Nothing of note there. Ow. Is that all there is here? I'm gonna take a little walking tour around Half Ogre Island before I go. There's something out there. This path should find it. If it's supposed to be a secret, then how did that ship captain know exactly where to go when I said Half Ogre Island? Doesn't look like there's anything here. Not even any enemies. Alright. Male, human, female, half ogre coupling producing offspring seems to be extremely rare occurrence. Cannot be depended upon for significant numbers. Female, human, male, half ogre experiments fare much better, but 100% loss of host. Rate of experimentation is increased with the new influx of female subjects from the lower part of society. These new hosts cannot even be relied upon to go to term, being in such poor health, suffering from common ailments those living in this manner are subject to. Their source of subject would help immensely, so I have some new surgical ideas I would like to implement, but the subjects I have to work on would not hold up under the knife. These surgical techniques we are applying have reduced numbers of fatalities by removing the unborn before term. The hosts seem to be viable for 3 harvests before their bodies fail. Some of my less dedicated colleagues have had to be dismissed as they were expressing doubts of female hosts. I have no such compunctions. Once they're here, they are They are a number to me and nothing more. Scientific advancement would never occur if the weak-willed were allowed to have their say. Creepy. Take, Caladon. But we set sail from... whatever. It's scripted. Arrows. Now let's go find 22 Dragons Turnabout again. Let's bring down the council, man. Where is he? Let's meet him here. We exchange information. What have you done with him? Perhaps. Let's see. I see you are wary. That is smart. As the trail we are following is a dangerous one. Well, I will share with you the information I've gathered, and you can decide for yourself whether you to believe me or not. I'm not certain how much of it I believe myself, but this is what we found out. About 55 years ago, a group of gnomes from various parts of Arcanum began to acquire large amounts of money from investments in new technology. As their wealth and perceived influence began to grow, age-old prejudices began to surface. Gnomes were thought to be miserly thieves. Races did not trust them to gain power. There were thefts, beatings, threats, mysterious letters in the night warning little gnomes to keep their place. Gnomes tried human bodyguards, but to no avail. Any human would be a bodyguard to a gnome at that time was by definition an untrustworthy, shiftless sort. At first they tried unsuccessfully to breed elves and orcs into some bestial magic hybrid to do their bidding. Siamese twins. Exactly. You know what happened with them, don't you? It was a foolhardy idea to begin with, at any rate. Orcs have a natural dislike for gnomes, and gnomes needed something more docile. The next obvious choice seemed to be half-ogres, tired of being hunted. And the promise of large amounts of food gained gnomes extremely loyal bodyguards. But there was a problem. Half-ogre was a very rare thing in those days, and with good scientific reasons for being so. The gnomes without bodyguards were used as leverage against those protected. The greatest concentration of these gnomes were in Tarant, which was still a monarchy at the time. They pleaded with the king for help, but the last thing the king wanted was a group of rich banker gnomes with power in his kingdom. The meetings continued, and the king and his court turned a blind eye to their plight. That was when, well, let's call him Mr. X decided to act. Mr. X... Yes, he hired a prostitute to go home with him one evening, locked her in his basement. Also happened to be keeping a full-blooded ogre. You can imagine what happened then. She died giving birth, as was to be expected, but Mr. X now had his future bodyguard. He recruited some other gnomes, and the kidnappings began in earnest. For safety's sake, they set up a breeding laboratory on the island he visited. Their plan wasn't working out as well as they'd hoped, and the women all died giving birth. More prostitutes that disappeared, the more authorities were looking into affairs. They decided to try surgical means of delivery. The women were too sickly to survive that. That is when the king's hirelings discovered what was happening. Unfortunately for the king, though, the gnomes had become incredibly rich in the time, rich enough in fact to purchase the king's murder and the kidnapping of Queen and her young son. Rumors began circulating, immediately pointing the Queen as the killer of her husband. Brought to the island, wasn't she? She was the patient of the first successful operation. She mothered 3 before she passed, I believe. Soon after the Industrial Council gained power in Tarant, the disappearance of prostitutes began to slow down. The mysterious rash of disappearance of wives and daughters of political enemies of the council began. This only lasted a short time, however, as they had now bred enough half-ogre females to no longer need to rely on human breeders. They have hundreds of them now, kept in cages on a breeding farm somewhere. Keep this whole thing in a cloud of mystery, releasing half-truths, lies, and even some real information through unstable individuals like Tarant. So no one believes any of it. Exactly, everyone believes it to be the imaginings of madmen and paranoids. Is it all true? It's a good question. We must not be too anxious to believe it, because we want it to be true, or too anxious to disbelieve it because we want it to be false. We must remain neutral in our decision as to whether it's true or not. Third, it's either true or it isn't. None of it is true, maybe some of it. I'll bring proof to the press. I'll expose this whole thing. Nothing, a journal that was left behind for you to find on purpose, which could have been written last week. You seen, I believe you saw an abandoned warehouse, nothing more, save what your twisted imagination made it out to be. Why are you doing this? We always need more converts to spread the word. You might have had real information, but now you don't know anything. What have I told you that is real? Feel free to tell anyone everything I have told you. I am sure that the press would love to hear your story. Perhaps. Not yet begun to it. My pleasure has not yet begun. It involves your excruciating pain. Good-spirited. That guy was a horrible son of a gun. And I will take it to the press. Let's see them stop me. Press is around here somewhere. I'm sure Matt de Cesar is dead too, if he's gone. Why am I in here? Now, where is the press? I can't remember where the press is. It's around somewhere. Tarant telegram. And it's herbals. Oh, I remember. It's up near the blacksmith. Right? Above it? Oh, that's where the mage's smith is. Oh, it's in that... Yeah, it's above it in that building between the mage smith and the blacksmith. Yep, Tarant editorial office. Zinniok goes on in this city. Oh, sure, we can publish this story now. Because, I mean, what is the Molokian hand isn't sending assassins after us anymore. Yep. No one else survived the impact. Tremendous explosion. It shook the entire vessel. Sound of gunfire. 2 different ones. Wreckage near the blimp. Some strange craft. Anything else I could do? No. 75 coin, honestly. I guess I can't take him that information. You can't really overturn the council, I don't think. What's the headline of today's paper? Mission on the rise. No. Okay. Well, that's something anyway. I'm not really sure there's anything else worth doing. Nothing I can think of anyway. Who are you? Weird. You can't really get rid of the council because they don't really exist. There's no council building. That's where the king lived, but now it's Gilbert Bates's mansion. There's no council building. Well, anyway, I think I'll stop it here. I don't even know how long this has gone on. But when I come back, I'll have a bunch more arrows, and I think I'll give Bormac a goodly amount too. And we will probably... Oh, I'll probably disintegrate Mingarad as well. You've seen that before, you don't need to see it again. And I guess I'll start up the last bit of the quest. I'm disappointed I couldn't do anything about the council, though. That seems like it would be fun. Overturning the council. Restoring the